was a kid, I was a Jehovah's Witness, and every Halloween, I would skip school along with all the other Jehovah's Witness kids from like 3 neighboring congregations. And we would all go to the Frenchtown roller rink for the entire day, which had been rented out just for us. And the year that I turned 12 was a very big year for many reasons. And my birthday is right before Halloween, so I had just turned 12, and I was at the roller rink. I wasn't skating, and I was watching the roller skating race, and I saw this kid. And you know, like those moments when you see a human being across the room and you're like, oh, this person is gonna be like a really important person in my life. It was like the first time I'd had that moment. He had clearly never roller skated before, but he was participating in this race, and he was like running on his skates, and he was wearing this awesome like button-down green shirt with a Peter Pan collar, or no, it was a butterfly collar, and he ran off. He was running, so he ran off after he lost the race, and we just like went into this conversation, and we like talked for a handful of hours this day about our preferences and all of the things that we had in common, the greatest of which was our mutual love of Tori Amos. I had not really met another person who was a fan of Tori Amos, much less like a diehard fan. And also, like, I was allowed to be friends with him because he was a Jehovah's Witness too. So it was really exciting. And we would like talk on the phone every day, and we would like sing her songs together. We were both 12. It was like this lovely, lovely friendship. So, but we were in different congregations, so like different churches. So we didn't see each other that often. We would see each other at like assemblies and stuff, and then we would always meet during the lunch hour and like sing, you know, Pretty Good Year and Silent All These Years together and stuff like that. So about a year and a half later, we had like grown into each other's circle of friends. Like he was in a band with my brother, and we would see each other probably at least once or twice a week. And he had gone on this missionary trip with some other JW friends of ours to where the need is great, in Minnesota. And he was gone for maybe like 3 weeks to a month. He'd gone with a couple other friends. And when he got back, he came over to my house with another guy that I had very strong feelings for. And they sat me down with my brother, who wasn't on this missionary trip. They sat me down in the office in our house, and they said, Kyra, we realized when we were on this trip that Tori Amos is demonic. And I was like, oh, and by the way, this was like right after Boys for Pele was released. So I don't know if that had something to do with it. But they were like, Tori Amos is demonic. They had gotten like a Bible at a thrift store, and they said they were like in the van after they had been going door to door, and the Bible started like turning its own pages or something. And they realized that anytime the Bible turned its own pages, like Blood Roses was playing. And I was just like looking at my friend who was the other Tori Amos fan, like, why didn't you warn me? Like, why did you have to gang up on me? Why couldn't you just tell me this was coming? And he looked at me and he was like, it's true, Kyra. Like, she was playing, and I felt a cold feeling, and I was shaking, and I was like, okay. And the other guy who was there was like, you have to get rid of all your Tori Amos stuff. I had quite the collection. I had like 16 imports and rarities. I had a signed photograph. It was like every cent I had went into my Tori Amos collection. And I was like, at this point, I'm weeping, of course. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll get rid of it. And they were like, no, right now. You're going to do it now. So they give me a trash bag, and they're like, you're going to go through every room in your house, and you're going to get everything together, and you're going to throw it out. There was conveniently a dumpster in the back of our house. So I kept trying to, like, kick things under my bed and stuff, and, you know, like, hide the music books, and they were like, it's all going. And my plan was to then go into the dumpster the next day and take it all back, but, you know, the dumpster was actually emptied, so that plan didn't work out. But so all this music went away from my life at like 13, which was a loss. It was like a deep loss at the time. And my friend and I, like, something broke in our friendship, you know? And sometimes we would be like talking on the phone again, and we would like segue into an area where we would just start singing a Tori Amos song on the phone to each other, like Bells for Her or something, and then we'd be like, oh, we gotta pray and ask for forgiveness. We weren't supposed to do that. Like, this is really bad. And it was a sort of just strange disappearance from our lives. So when I was 17 and I moved away for college, one of the first things I did was go to a record store and buy a copy of Little Earthquakes. And that's it.